Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of Paul's Workshop. Today we're going to be looking at a couple of scanning radios that we picked up on eBay. For those of you who've been following along the Hammerland, when I got to tube testing, I found a couple of tubes that are testing bad. So those are scheduled to arrive sometime next week, so we'll drop those in and then we can do the final tweaking on that and the alignment and all that. But let's take a look at what came in today. Okay, the first toy on the bench here is the Realistic Pro-2008 scanner. This is an oldie but goodie from Radio Shack. If you look at it, this one is rough. We got a loose squelch knob here. It smells like smoke, not cigarette smoke, but it actually smells like somebody had it near a campfire. And if you look, it's dirty. Let's see if we can zoom in if you can see. This is dirty. Right now, a lot of you out there are thinking, why an analog scanner? Everything is digital, nothing to listen to. Well, that's not entirely correct, number one. But number two, these are available on the cheap now. And there's a lot I feel like I can learn from this. Okay, another oldie but goodie, the Bearcat 210. This, again, an old model radio. It came with the box, which is kind of why I jumped on this one. I thought it was pretty cool to have the original box. The price of both of these was less than $20 shipped to my door. So you can't go wrong with that. I mean, to play around with these and to learn a little bit, like I said, I think it's fantastic. So I'm going to unbox this one and see. Now, this one, actually, it said in the listing that it doesn't scan. All right, so here it is. It's plugged in. We're going to turn it on. All right, of course we have nothing programmed in. So let's see if we can program in the Weather Channel. And let's see, we're gonna program.
Rain 50%.
Okay.
Here is the area weather summary. Canadian high pressure will briefly bring some relief from the heat today. High pressure in the western Atlantic.
Okay, so we're getting reception. We know the speaker works. It looks like it wants to scan. This thing comes in real handy for little assignments like this. And I did do a video on this, so if you're interested in checking this out, our video is there. All right, and yeah, once I took the cover off, I can smell the smoke, and it's not campfire smoke, it's smoke. But there you can see the inside of this. It's not that bad. I mean, you can have a whiff. It smells like grandma's house. That kind of sucks because you'll be smelling it when it runs, but we're gonna have to get into this squelch knob. Let's see. Yeah, we're gonna have to take this faceplate off. Let's do that next. Now these little Pittsburgh trays, they used to give them out at Harbor Freight. They used to be freebies, but I mean, these come in handy for these little screws and stuff. But I do appreciate the seller telling us that this smelled like smoke, because if it's really objectionable to you, that's good to know. Boy, this doesn't want to come off. All right, these are some Robo Grip pliers I picked up at a flea market a little while ago. Yeah, so I appreciate that, because if you're somebody who really can't stand the smell of the smoke, it's good to know that it's going to stink on you. And I like these pliers because they don't you can't over squeeze, but there we go. And just protecting it with a rag like that, you're not going to mess up the knobs. This one actually, right, it's a little bit going to need some work there, but all right. So to get this off, you got these Phillips head screws here that you need to remove. 2 on each side, 1 in the top. Sometimes there's some in the bottom too, but not on this one. So we're going to take this off. And actually the good thing is we could take this off. We can wash this with soapy water, that faceplate. So that's what we'll do. All right. Now I spared you the bloody details of me taking the screws out, but so the headphone jack is still kind of screwed in there. So we may have to remove that, but this should just pull. There we go. Should pull out of the way for us. Now, there's probably a tool for this, but I just use a small screwdriver and a little baby hammer. And just give it a light tap to break it loose. And then it should just come right off. It goes in our tray. Now we can pull this away from there. Should be able to pull the faceplate away from the jack now. Yes, now we have the faceplate off. And look at, you can see the dust and the crust. So we're gonna wash this. We can actually put that right in the water bath. As long as we're careful we don't mess up the screening here. We have access to our knobs here. And this is just gonna be a matter of tightening this. So we'll get a nut driver for that. All right, we have our 7/16 nut driver. And we're gonna hold that from the back. You can do your couple of spins on there to get it. And then we're just gonna snug it. There we go. While we're here, we'll snug up the other one. Excellent. So it was a pretty simple fix there, right? All right, now we're gonna do a little bit of blow the dust and the goblins out of there. And see if we can clean it up a little bit. Okay, I did a little cleaning on the outside with my cleaner. And then I used some contact cleaner here to get inside the switches. We're going to let that dry out. All right, so this, we're going to clean it. And then you see we're missing some of the paint here, so we're going to restore that. And we're also going to clean the casing, which is dirty. Now, if you're going to clean that vinyl simulated wood grain, this LA's Totally Awesome is a great product for that. You can cut it with water. You can mix it with some water, make it a little bit less potent. Make sure you wear gloves when you're using it. This stuff is it's a little harsh, but it does a good job. It cuts through the grease and it cuts the smoke smell out. And then this guy, we're gonna wash in the sink. I'm gonna use a mild detergent on this, like some dish detergent. I'm gonna try to preserve this as much as possible. And then we can fix whatever else. But in this, I wanna make sure I don't mess up that silk screening. But so we're gonna get this clean. As those parts dry, we're gonna deal with this area here. This almost looks like a burn. I don't know if that's inside or outside. I wonder. It doesn't seem to affect the performance at all, but I'm wondering what that is. Maybe that's not even, I'm not even sure. That might not even been visible when the case was on it. But all right, so we're gonna go in here. We're gonna get some Q-tips and some alcohol, and we're gonna just clean this all out here. Okay, that's cleaned up. Now we're gonna try to restore the writing here, and I'm just using these are from Amazon, these paint markers with the extra fine tip. You could also use a dry paintbrush, like a dry paintbrush. You could also use the dry brush painting technique, but this seems to make quick work of it. And you know, you're just letting it touch the raised part and filling back in what you need to there to make it pop out. On the faceplate, you're just kind of doing the same thing. You're just touching this lightly and letting it fill in. As you go along like that, you're just bringing it back. You can tap lightly a couple times. Go back if you missed anything. See, now we have it nice. And you're just going to go and do the same thing over the numbers. Okay, here it is finished. The assembly was the reverse of the disassembly. Put everything back together. This little stick here was great for getting into these circles to clean out the crud that was in there and along here, over here in the corner and stuff like that. We put the label back on with a little bit of dry brush. Overall, it's not a bad little scanner. It's only 10 frequencies, or I'm sorry, it's only 10 channels. It'll do 30 to 50 megahertz. Then it does 144 to 174, and then 410 to 512. So not a huge frequency range, not a lot you can listen to, but here we have Still analog fire department frequencies. The police are analog. Some of the neighboring towns are analog frequencies, and it'll all be picked up on here. Of course, your ham radio repeaters and your weather channel. So this will be nice. This is, something that relatively easily was cleaned up and fixed. We fixed the squelch knob, the volume. Everything works nice and smoothly. There's no more statics or pops or anything, so that's clean. Just a nice little unit for under 20 bucks, and learned a little something in the process. So I hope you like this one. If you're interested in this, leave a comment, leave a like. And the Bearcat 210 is coming up next, and that one we know we have a problem. It says it doesn't scan, so that'll be the next one here on the bench. But I hope you enjoyed this one, and join us next time.